So, we've come to our first presentation of this afternoon on tourism's role for development. We're extremely honored and pleased that he can join us. I know they're extremely busy these days. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Director for Regional Department for Asia and the Pacific at the World Tourism Organization, Mr. Harry Wang.
Thank you, Paul, for your kind introduction and start. And Excellency Dr. Sebastian Ting, the Deputy Minister of Sarawak, and our good friend from Sarawak Tourism Board, and distinguished PATA lab members. Now I see that CEO Sejade, and honorable PATA members and esteemed friends and ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon. It's extremely honor and pleasure for me to be here with you all for this important event, the PATA Destination Experience Forum and Mart 2023. And first of all, I would like to thank PATA for your kind invitation to UNWTO to join this important event, I should say. And of course, my heartfelt appreciation goes to Sarawak State and Sarawak Tourism Board for your extremely warm hospitality and logistical support that you have done for making sure everything goes well and immaculate, the support for the successful meeting. And now I think that I'm ready to start. Can I? Right, okay. Well, as a matter of fact, that Sarawak overall and Kuching has been one of my bucket list until last October. And the moment that I came here, and then I became tourism ambassador of Sarawak, because I see Sarawak has everything. What we say post-pandemic, the tourists are looking for. I mean, you have such a unique culture, stunning beauty for nature, and of course, you have fantastic, good food. And most importantly, we see such a friendly, hospitable, the local people. So that makes position Sarawak one of the most popular tourist destinations in this region. So we are so happy to coming back, and this is my token of my future ambassadorship continue. And also, I must begin with my presentation saying PATA has been constantly my inspiration, and PATA maintains such a reputation in leading the tourism sector and providing technical input. So again, it has been 30 years, and if I may, that I was the key person to support PATA annual conference. It was in 1994 when George Bush was the keynote speaker. And then also 2004, the Jeju PATA event that I was serving as a local host committee member. So I had such a good memory, and I see PATA maintain such a good reputation and the leadership role, and we value you guys so much. And now I'm coming back as a colleague from the UNWTO, and we see so many opportunities and the need to work together. So as you know, that the UNWTO is a UN agency specializing in tourism, and we also embrace the private sector, that we have more than 500 affiliate members from local destination and academia and industry leaders like you So we are very much looking forward to work with you. And even though I have about 20 minutes, the presentation, I already took almost 5 minutes introduction. So it is really challenging how I can deliver, I should say, institutional the presentation on how the tourism role for the development. So because I'm from UNWTO, I will talk more the perspective from the central government perspective. But I again see the value, the work together. And let me just highlight the greatest achievement that we are doing, and in terms of partnership with PATA, that over the last 16 years we have been working together, what we call UNWTO PATA Regional Forum on Tourism Trend and Outlook, that we are doing it in Guilin, which is a permanent venue for the hosting this event, in getting collaboration from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. I should say this is one of the best examples how we enjoy each other. Right, so my presentation today, well, within 15 minutes, or 16 minutes, 14 minutes, that I want to touch the latest tourism data and trend. And then I will be happy to show you some of the important initiatives that we have done for the sustainable development goal that we have introduced, working with our members and industry leaders, and then highlight some of the case studies. So for the latest international tourism trend, and I'm sure that all of you remember when we had the highest number of international tourists, the arrival in the year of 2019, because that year we always compare where we stand from the, after pandemic. I'm sure you remember the number that we had it in the year of 2019, 1.5 billion. That signifies 4 million tourists travel every day. So you see the 4 different colors where we stand, and we see very surprisingly pleasant that we see the strong recovery that we already have seen in the year of 2022. We had 900 million tourists, which is the double number from the previous year. And then so far this year, the first quarter, we have 235 million tourists, which is again the double the number that we had it last year. And then this is another table. It shows how each different region enjoy the recovery is almost there. In the case of Middle East, they even had a 15% more than the year of 2019, while Europe, almost 90%, and America, 86%. But you see the Asia, only 54%. Because Asia was somehow more cautious, but we lifted our travel restriction much later. And now, according to UNWTO, the ongoing outlook, the forecast for this year, that we anticipate from 80% to 95% of 2019 level, based depending on the economic downturn or the tourism recovery that we receive from Asia, because Asia has been leading the tourism, global tourism growth and development. Now for our initiative and what we have done for achieving the Sustainable Development Goal. As you have seen many times, that the Sustainable Development Goal are the universal call to end the poverty and inequality, and no one is left behind by the year of 2030. And because of tourism sector, the crossover nature, that tourism has potential to support achieving the sustainable goal for every goal, but in particular, that the target 8, the decent work and economic growth, and global, the goal 12, the responsible consumption and production, and goal 14 has particular mention about tourism contribution in achieving the sustainable development goal. So with that, our priority and programs are very much focused on achieving this sustainable development goal. And I'm also very happy to say, gone are the days, or the recent pandemic crisis, that UNWTO had focused on 3 different phases of approach, that crisis management and restart tourism and accelerating the transformation. So when the crisis was there, that we wanted to make sure that, to support our members fighting the pandemic. And then some of the destinations in Asia are on the second stage, restarting tourism. When they restart, we want to make sure that the seamless travel can be realized, and also to support the confidence for the traveler. And then most of destinations in Europe, America, and some in Asia, that we are on the stage of accelerating the transformation of our tourism sector in a more responsible, sustainable, and resilient future by using the tremendous opportunity by having your expert, the contribution of innovation, technology, and digitalization. And I'm very happy to highlight only a few initiatives that we have done. And I remember the Peter Simon, he mentioned, underlined the importance of measuring the sustainability of tourism, how successful you are. It is very important to measure. And we also have, I should say, the more technically advanced initiative that we are introducing to the members is the internet, we call it INSTO, International Network for Sustainable Tourism Observatory. And we have a few sustainable tourism programs. And we had a tremendous response and well-received initiative, what we call UNWTO Best Tourism Village. So this statistical framework for MST, measuring sustainability of tourism, is showing those policymakers and decision makers how the environmental impact and social economic impact of tourism can be realized, and then so that you can make better judgment and decision for your policy and strategy. And UNWTO count on many case studies from the member state, and also the country's experiences, as well as international organizations' contribution on the measurement of the sustainability of tourism. In the case of Fiji, they want to show the process in building the system for the measuring the sustainability of tourism, and by starting the very basic tables, which shows already has the data. From there, they want to focus on priority and secondary issue. And in the case of Philippines, they use MST system methodology to understand the estimation of the expenses on water and energy consumption in the tourism, and install the international network of sustainable tourism observatory that we do have the same criteria, monitoring the social, economic, and environmental impact of tourism and to the destination level. Wherever members or destination interested in particular area that they can monitor for their need, and then we share the finding, what we observe. And out of 38, the international observatory that we do work together, I'm very proud that we have 15 observatories in Asia, 1 from Australia, and 8 from China, and 5 from Indonesia, and 1 just joined from the Philippines. So if I show a little bit in detail what they are doing in the case of Sanur, which is hometown of the Peter Simon, the Indonesia, that they just want to make sure their destination is sustainable beach tourism destination with their very unique culture, and they want to maintain global competitiveness. So what they are monitoring is within the boundary of 10 square kilometers with 50,000 inhabitants. The main area that they want to monitor is how the local community, they are happy or satisfied with tourism delivery and destination economic benefit, and what about employment and tourism seasonality. Peter, we are talking about your hometown, yes. And also the solid, the water and energy management. So these are the things that they specifically monitor, analyze. And of course, this is great tool for them to make a policy. But also, this is knowledge created, and then we share with other observatory members. And One Planet, the vision. I mean, this is another initiative that UNWTO playing an important role with other tourism stakeholders to make some recommendation and the guideline to make collective effort in fighting, supporting the climate action. And Glasgow Declaration, you might heard about it, on the climate action in tourism. That was launched on November 2021 when Glasgow hosted COP26. And the tourism sector declared that our commitment and support the half the emission within 10 years, and by 2050, net zero emission, the commitment. So there was 850 organizations, including 80 from Asia, committed for their action to support this initiative. That I know that we have 2 minutes. Well, I believe that the Global Tourism Plastic Initiative is another good program that we work together with our partner. And it was such an amazing initiative we have seen from Pacific Island, Palau, they initiated, and we follow. And then we see so many partners work together. And this is so good to see PATA has been actively involved as well. And then this is extremely important, the conference, that global roadmap for food waste reduction. And I felt so bad when we had a lunch. I'm sure that more than half of the food that prepared, I hope that that can be managed to recycle. So this is the guideline, that the roadmap, the action-oriented guideline to reduce the food waste. And in particular, we focus on those accommodation provider and cruise liner to scale up the impact. And again, we are very happy to see how PATA has been leading in this field. And this is the last part, the Best Tourism Villages Initiative. Well, there was some controversy, but the fact remained the members, whole world, they were so much into this initiative. And the idea is how the tourism can be used as a great tool for rural development. So we have very strict criteria, and we announced that 76 best tourism villages in the world from 40 countries, including 14 villages awarded in Asia. And I just want to complete my presentation by highlighting the one particular village awarded the Batu Puteh. As a matter of fact, Malaysia was the success story in terms of rural tourism development. And this particular village has three main things that we appreciated. Number one, they have very specific initiative and movement to protect their wildlife. And even the tourists, they are joining the tree planting and also forest restoration work as a tourist. And they provide implementing the international standard, and they provide certificate, make sure they are doing organic farming. And lastly, they offer homestay. So because of that success story, many destinations in the region, even from Africa, America, they learn the case from Europe, from Malaysia. And I wanted to show, I have been talking about global initiative, what UNWT has been done. There are some important activity that we at the Regional Department, Asia and Pacific, is also working together with our members and our industry leaders. One example is the World Tourism Conference that we organize every 3 years in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism of Malaysia. And we have been done, I should say, over the last 16 years that we invite the director level of tourism executive official from Asia in terms of the knowledge sharing and experience sharing. The particular year that we invite the topic like last year, investment in sustainable tourism. And this year we are going to have tourism and education. So this is something that we have very much well received. And then this is also somewhere that we get your contribution as well, because we want to get inspire our government official from your expert idea. And Peter has been this program as an anchor consultant more than 3 or 4 times, right? So this is the end of presentation, and I know that I have spoken up more time allocated, but you see in terms of sustainable development goal that the tourism for SDG.com, if you come over here, that this website was sponsored by the government of Switzerland, where we collect all initiatives, 271, 100 events, and 90 stories of what they implemented from 195 countries can be identified. And also we encourage, this conference itself can be one of the sustainable development goals to achieve it. So that's what I want to share. And I know because of time constraint, we might not have the question and answer session, but you are welcome to drop a line to my email, or I'll be happy to have face-to-face interaction with you. And thank you so much for your kind attention. Thank you.